So many things to talk about, and the first appearance of Tom Baker isn't even one of them. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. I think my favorite guilty pleasure moment of Planet of the Spiders is right at the climax when there's a whole shaky-cam thing going on, and the camera shakes so much that for a brief moment, one of the other floor cameras appears on screen complete with the BBC logo. It is so awesome. It is like the encapsulation of everything that makes classic Who so charming. Aside from that, there are a couple of really interesting things going on here in Planet of the Spiders. Of course, this is the regeneration story into the Fourth Doctor and the first appearance of Tom Baker. And I'll talk plenty about Tom Baker in the next couple of months. But the really interesting thing about that is this is the first story to actually use the word regeneration. It may be the third time we've seen the Doctor completely change persons, but this is the very first time that an actual word is set to it. And that has stuck for the last 46 years now. Regeneration. Another really interesting thing about this story, director Barry Letts does not get an on-screen credit for this, but he co-wrote the story with Robert Slowman. And the same reason he's not credited as a co-author is why he's also not credited as producer, which he was at the time, which was that per union rules and guidelines, a person can only be credited for one thing. And so he gets credit for directing the episode. But that makes this the one and only time that the same person wrote and directed a story in Doctor Who, let alone being the producer. Now, not only is this, of course, Jon Pertwee's last appearance as a regular on the series, although he will return for a guest spot in The Five Doctors, but this marks the final appearance of Mike Yates as a character, and what a character arc he has had. He started out as a potential love interest for Jo Grant. He was there throughout all of the core unit days, and then horribly tortured and transformed in the Green Death, was completely busted out of unit due to his actions in Invasion of the Dinosaurs, and now here he gets his final redemption arc where he truly shines as just a standalone character outside of unit and helping to motivate the story. Mike Yates is one of the great unsung heroes of Doctor Who. He's not quite considered a companion. Sergeant Benton gets all of the love in the rank and file, and of course the Brigadier is revered, and poor Mike Yates gets lost in the shuffle, but here he is absolutely fantastic in the story, and it is sad to see him go. We have many more unit stories coming down the pike, particularly in the early end of the Fourth Doctor era, but none of them will feature Mike Yates, and that's really sad. So that then wraps it up for the Third Doctor era. As I mentioned in my last episode, that means that now every single story I see all the way up to probably Thanksgiving will be a Tom Baker story. The next Doctor's run is historic as being the longest in the show's history, both in terms of years and in number of episodes, and contains what is arguably the pinnacle of the classic Doctor era during the whole Holmes-Hinchcliffe reign, when the series focuses much more on the horror elements than the science fiction elements, and it is absolutely glorious, and I am so looking forward to it, and I'm so looking forward to having you join me on this next phase of the journey on the Time Treadmill and Sweaty Thoughts. So tomorrow we will move on to Tom Baker in probably his weakest story. I'll see you then.